Welcome to the Meeting Underground, Season 3, Episode 4. Last episode I began a series on the backstage of songwriting, kind of showing the development of individual songs and how they came about, and my memories of the compilation of them, both in video and audio. And I want to continue that this episode with the song Throw Into the Pot. Now, Throw Into the Pot has recently we ran a cycle of the new video for that, which we'll talk about later. But in the original video for that song, you saw a little bit of it at the beginning. We took it and took a part of some 50s film and made it in a rock and roll setting. And as the beginning opening credit of that says, it really has not a lot to do with the song itself. I even had comments from people that said, wait a minute, I'm listening to the song. This has nothing to do with it. The song is the lyric, and the song is not what you're presenting here. Well, it's an interesting song, and it's had a life of its own. That video has gotten a lot of attention in the past, and now we worked on a new one. But I want to step back, and I want to look at the development of the song itself. This song, to me, in my mind, stands out because of the day I did it. The time I worked on it was unusual, and the simplicity and the complexity of the song is what intrigues me a bit. First is that it's a one-chord song. It might have a lead-in and it might have a little offset for rhythm's sake, but it's a one-chord song. And I've done a few of those. And one-chord songs, you have to develop different dynamics because you're not changing chords and progression of chords that much. So you need to have different dynamics taking place, and that's what this song has. But it basically stays in the same chord. That's the simplicity side of it. Now, the lyrical content of the song, what it's about, is fascinating. It's got two sides to it lyrically. One side is something that came up when I was actually recording the music for this song. The music of this song was done before I had a song. I was working on an idea of a song. And as I was doing it, I don't even remember where it came from, but I had this idea of using vocals as a percussive-like thing. So the term throw into the pot, the part of the song that we're talking about now is the throw into the pot, take it from the pot, throw into the pot, take it from the pot. I used it as a percussive thing, like throw into the pot, take it from the pot, throw into the pot, take it from the pot. And I used that, but the concept behind that seemed to me to be what boils down to basic human behavior. Are we those, or are we aspiring to be those who give, throw into the pot, and contribute, or are we those who take, who is looking to get from it? And it could be like a life philosophy, but also an aspiration, because we all have a little bit of that in us. But it could be, so it's a question of whether who we are, what we identify as, and what we aspire to throw into the pot or take it from the pot. And so that began the whole song, and I thought, when I put it down as a percussive thing, as a percussive part of the instrumental part of it, it just seemed like it sounded great. I loved it. It went very quick, and I knew I was on to what I wanted to do. Now, the second concept of this song, where is the lyric of the verses that go, "There's a light that shines from a crack in the door, up the stairs and into the attic." That, actually, it was an image that I had I carried around with me for a while, and it was a prayerful thing. It came out of a prayerful position for me. It was an image of a little girl. I added the little boy, but the little girl sitting up in an attic hiding from the light that's shining up at her. And it stuck with me for a long time. I never considered it as a song. I actually thought of it several times at different times in my prayer life. But anyway, so I started describing that in the verses, and the verses of it and the other just seem to have almost like two different statements about human condition, human outlook, where we are, what we are, how we relate to truth, how we relate to spirituality, how we relate to human kindness and consideration in life philosophy, and what motivates at the center. One thing about it is that I've been an artist all my life, but I've also been involved. I had a pretty radical life change event spiritually when I was a younger man, and I was involved with mission work, and I was involved with a lot of leading song and church service type stuff, and I did a lot of teaching. Well, that part of my life and the artistic part of my life, it took me to be an older man to realize that they kind of merge in my life. It's not like a lot of people think of your songs have to have some kind of an agenda. It's not that at all. It's just that artistic expression, to me, I wrote a book on this, but artistic expression and spiritual perception are the same to me. They're really the same. So I see now, like as an artist, I think we're in connection with something very spiritual. It's a sacred thing. I take artistry and songwriting and creative storytelling. I take it all as a sacred thing. It's just how I see it. It's what my life has culminated in. So anyway, we're going to show you a rough take version of the song that I recorded, actually as a note to send to my son, we were working on the song together. So it's a rough take acoustic version of the song done in an acoustic style. Then we're going to close the show with the video that we have just released, the Flatten the Curve video, which kind of is pertinent to the times we're in right now about the quarantine and COVID-19 and that sort of thing. But anyway, hope you enjoy it. We want to thank you for joining us. You can now follow us at Facebook and at Stage Coup Records. You can find all the episodes. We also have put up a playlist from YouTube that you can find there that actually has every episode of the Meeting Underground, which this particular episode makes 33. We hope you enjoy that. So thank you. Here's the video. Hope you appreciate it. Have a great day. Stay safe. There's a light shines from a crack in the door, up the stairs into the attic. There's a little girl and a little boy, each standing there, crouched back in static. Back in static. Ooh, crouch back in static. With flailing arms and eyes clenched tight, each shaking fear, as if they're all alone. But the light itself has a warmth to it, and it just might lead, oh, just might lead them home. But no, crack in the door, up the stairs, into the attic, into the attic, into the attic. There's a light shines from a crack in the door, up the stairs and into the attic. There's a little girl and a little boy, each standing there, crouched back in static.
And do you throw it to the pot? Do you take it from the pot? Do you throw it to the pot? Do you take it from the pot? Do you throw it to the pot?
Crouched back in static.
Do you throw it to the pot?
Crouched back
Do
in
you take it
static.
from the pot?
With flailing arms and eyes closed tight, each shaken fear as if they're all alone. But the light itself has a warmth to it, and it just might lead, oh, it just might lead